Hello YouTube, welcome to my channel. Today I will be cooking stewed oxtail. This is my first cooking video. I will post all the ingredients in the description box and show you how I do every step so that you can follow along. I'll also be linking a video to how to make rice and beans because that's what I'm gonna pair this dish with, or dili à pois. I am from a Haitian background, and I want to kind of incorporate all the different types of ways to make different meals in the way that each and every individual will like. Feel free to add, subtract anything from the meal that you see fit, or that doesn't, appeal to you, or that doesn't please you. And enjoy. Here I have the oxtail that what I've already done was I've already marinated it in Haitian spice along with some other ingredients that I'll be showing you what I used, but some of the ingredients are here. I used onion powder, garlic powder, a little bit of adobo, not too much, just a little bit. A little paprika. I love that stuff. Black pepper. These are some of the ingredients I'm going to be using, and some of the ingredients that already has the marinade already. A little bit of bay leaves, some thyme, I'll be using a little bit of browning just to add a little bit of color. Some tomato paste, clove powder, because I do not like the actual clove itself. All right, here's some more ingredients that I'll be using. Onion, red bell pepper, green bell pepper, and this right here is fresh parsley. First thing I'm gonna do is start with the oxtail itself. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the pot. Now what I did was I marinated it over a week ago, and I put it in the freezer so that way it stayed frozen and it wouldn't go bad, so that when I was actually ready to make it, it'd be ready to go. I took it out of the freezer a few days and keep it in the refrigerator so it can defrost. I've put the oxtail in the pot. I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit of olive oil. Doesn't matter which one, which kind, whichever you want to use. Just a little bit of olive oil. And we're gonna fry it up a little bit to give it some color before we start adding the liquids to it, okay? So here I go. And I'm gonna go ahead and just stir it up. Again, wait till it's nice and golden brown. In the meantime, I will be cutting up the peppers and onions. What I've done so far is I've cut my vegetables up. Got the red and green peppers. Only half of each of them is what I used. The other halves, I'm going to actually save them and refrigerate them until I need to use them again. I also cut up half of the onion that I showed you. There we go. Okay, which is about a cup. I'll use this for the beginning of my meal. I do like to have some vegetables in there as it cooks. And then the other half of the onion, I cut it up into long slices instead of chopping it. And this is for after. I'm just adding some water to the pot, about 3 cups worth, enough to cover the oxtail. Because what's going to happen is it's going to cook down. Now, oxtail is a very, now, oxtail takes quite a bit of time to cook so it can get tender, real tender. So we're going to make sure that we leave it with enough time so that we're not rushing, because the worst thing that can happen is for you to have chewy food. And like, when I cook, I like to have my food to be coming right off the bone. When I cook, I like my food to be falling off the bone. So we're going to stir it and raise the temperature on the heat a little bit more. And then we're just gonna cover it up and give it time. This is gonna take quite a bit of time. So this is a meal that you wanna make when you have a lot of free time. I'm gonna add my peppers, just a little bit, a handful of each. This is just for taste. This is what I do. But again, you don't have to do that. A handful of the onion right in the beginning, because I will add the rest of it later on as it cooks, because again, this takes hours. All right, anywhere from 2 to 4 hours depending on how tender you like the meat. What I'm gonna do now is remove the parsley and the Scotch bonnet pepper. Again, I do this because it gives it the flavor that I am looking for, but it doesn't make it too spicy or break apart in the meal itself. Alright, so that's been taken out. So I'm gonna just taste it so I can see what it's lacking. Again, I will continually add more water to this so that it can have lots of flavor, but until then we have to make sure that it's got the taste that I am looking for, you know what I mean? All right, here you go, just a little bit. All right, so right now it doesn't have a whole lot of flavor. Again, we're just trying to get the meat tender. But what I'm gonna do now is add some of the ingredients that I showed you earlier. Adobo, just a little bit. About a tablespoon. Nope. Adobo, just about a teaspoon of that. A little garlic powder. A little onion powder. The ground cloves. Now, I do like the flavor that the clove gives to meals. Again, I just don't like the actual clove itself. The whole one. I prefer the crushed or the grounded one. Paprika. A little thyme, because this meal takes lots of it. Get it? Thyme. a little corny, my friends will tell you. We're gonna put a bay leaf in here, or two. We'll remove this a little later as well. Black pepper. Okay. Now the browning, again, the browning is for color. I do like a darker color for my gravy when it comes to oxtail. I am a big fan of Jamaican food as well, and I know that they do use browning in a lot of their meals, a lot of their dishes. So I do like oxtail Jamaican style as well. So I kind of incorporated, add a little browning to it to give it that darker, richer color. Just about a teaspoon amount. Now, I will warn you, I come from a household who are not big on measurements when it comes to cooking. It's more put a little this, a little that, until you get the desired taste that you're looking for. It's better to always put too little of something, because at the end of the day you can always add to it to give it more flavor. Now if you're adding too much in the beginning, it will most likely mess up the meal, but no fear, because you can always repair a meal as long as you take precautionary measures. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stir it up a little bit, and you can already see it's changing the color that because of the browning that I put in it. Again, the bay leaves will be removed a little later. I'm gonna stir it up. Now I like this darker, I like the dark color. And it doesn't look too dark. I'm gonna taste it again and see if it has some of the flavor that I'm looking for. Much better. It is actually much better. We're gonna let this cook for another hour. Check in on it again. Occasionally try to check in on it every 30 to 45 minutes, so that way the water doesn't, again, evaporate too much. Here is the oxtail. It is delicious. Can't wait for you guys to try this recipe out.